Gotta need you. So dope. Yeah, so dope. But before I could walk away, I heard a voice say, my son, please remember who you pray to. The Father that made you. I was once in that grave too. Did you forget it was my own blood that saved you? So let that fear go, that's not the spirit that I gave you. Yes, the road is tough, but keep your faith, cause you can make it. Wouldn't have gave it to you if I ain't think that you can take it. It's okay to say you're hurt, nobody's asking you to fake it. I just want you to remember life and death is in your statement. So speak what you want to exist, and have the faith to believe that it will manifest. Let nothing shake you, no matter what you go through in life, it shouldn't break you. I died so you could have a way, that's why you go through. Remember that you're following me now. You're my child and my child doesn't give up or back down, so stop beating yourself up. I'm so proud, look back to where you were, look where you're at now. And let's just go over some facts. 39 strokes in my back, remember that. To spill an innocent man's blood, they were so eager. Remember, I ain't wanna drink that cup neither, but I did, and I did it without complaining. Funny how the ones that I came for left me hanging. Could've threw it all away, but I took it and stayed true. Gave all of myself, and I did that just for you. Now the question is, for me, what are you willing to go through? See, the Bible says that we can't reign with Christ unless we suffer with him. Jesus himself said, any man that wants to follow me must take up his cross.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Convos with Gigi. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule on a Friday night to chill with me just a little bit. Listen, if you enjoyed my intro, I want you to check out my brother AC The Future. He has an album that's entitled Remnant in the Making. The song that you heard is called Confessions, one of my favoriteest songs ever. So listen, not going to be before you long on tonight. Want to talk about hidden treasure. Okay, hidden treasure. So right before we jump in, I want you to like, share, comment, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Let's have some convo on tonight. So hidden treasure. Why did I come up with this topic? Because I believe that there's so much inside of us, but we just have to tap in to see what's there. Now, there are different reasons why we haven't necessarily discovered what's in us. My bishop came up with a dose, and it says, purpose is not something you desire. Purpose is something that you discover. So my thing is this: are we walking in the path of discovering what's inside of us, that treasure that's inside of us? Now, you may be like me. The first thing before you can even walk into purpose or discover purpose is feel that you're worthy to walk in it, to walk in greatness. There's so many reasons why we don't even make an attempt to tap in to what's on the inside of us. It could be things that we heard as a young person. It could be relationships that we've been in. It could be different circumstances or situations. Whatever it is, listen, we have to start digging. We have to get into our purpose. There's so much buried treasure inside of you. Let's start digging. Let's tap into it. Let's find out what it is. So again, you heard me talking about one of the reasons why we may be even afraid to tap into what's inside of us. I'll go ahead and put myself out there for an example. All my life, for the most part of my life, the younger years of my life into my maybe 30s, always struggled with low self-esteem. Always felt like I wasn't good enough. Really didn't think there was anything great about me. Always seeing other people excel, thinking this one is great, that one is great. But where do I fit in that? Where do I fit in the puzzle? We didn't have a whole lot. My mom, you hear me talk about my mom a lot, and I will be doing a segment talking especially about Miss Isabel. But we grew up with just her. My dad shot her, so she ended up raising us by herself. And times were hard. We had some hard times. We didn't have the best clothes. The house and everything wasn't the best. And I have to really tell y'all about that life story at a different time. I had issues with my skin. My brother used to say I had the heebie-jeebies. I so hope you are watching. because that traumatized me. He would pick at me and said I had the heebie-jeebies. Man, the kids in school would call me coon because I had dark circles around my eyes. So I've lived a defeated life for so long. I never felt like I fit in. I never felt like I had anything to offer. And so I never really tried. I never tried to discover what the greatness was inside of me. Fast forward a few years later, we're in our junior high school times, and I got pregnant in junior high school. Hey, Nay. I got pregnant in junior high school, and then again in high school. Didn't go to college. So, hey, my friends going off doing big things, going off to school, getting these great careers. You know, I'm sitting there just trying to get a job at Hardee's, Burger King, you know, staying at home, just doing what I can do. Never really tried to pursue anything past that. And a great thing happened. I end up, fast forwarding again, end up moving to Columbia, where I am now, and got involved with the ministry that I'm in. And he had to begin to rehearse to me that there was greatness on the inside of me. Okay. So again, I've always heard negative things. One, we were poor. Second, I was a baby having a baby. Y'all know I got preached on for about 2 years straight, right? Holiness Church. So yeah, I was the topic for a very long time. So I always felt like the outcast, always felt like the statistic. Didn't really try to even pursue anything or try to tap in what was inside of me. I remember that I went to, I was working at the DMV. I got on at the DMV through Kelly Services. And one of my coworkers said, I want you to come out to the church with me. And I was like, I really don't do the church thing, you know, especially being pregnant in a holiness church. I had some bad blood there. So I wasn't trying to do the church thing or the church people. But before she invited me to church, she always was a genuine person, a caring person. Always, I'm just seeing how you're doing, you know, let's go to lunch. And she built that relationship with me. And so because she was so good to me as a friend, as a person who saw value in me. Now, keep in mind, I come from a place where I didn't see any value. The people around me, it seemed, I'll say that, like they didn't recognize any value. All they recognized was a teenage mom or a person having a baby or a disappointment, you see, or a statistic, you know, didn't really have any high expectations for me. And so this is a person that showed genuine concern and built that relationship with me. And so when she invited me out, I said, she good people, you know, I'm going to do that just for her. Oh my gosh. I first met my pastor, my bishop now, and he began to just tell me things about me. And he told me that there was greatness in me. I'm like, this man don't know me. He must ain't been in married. You know what I'm saying? Because if he knew about my past and who I was, he wouldn't be sitting here talking about there's some type of greatness in me. And so he said that over my life for years. I've been with my ministry for 17 years now. And I've just really getting to tap into what he saw years ago. Because why? I had to see it for myself. And again, you will never be everything that God wants you to be. You will never know your fullest potential until you first can believe it and see it for yourself. You have to see it for yourself. Don't let your past be used as a muzzle. Use it as motivation. My past kept me in so much shame, so much bondage, because again, you know better, because you was raised better. Now you've disappointed your family. You know, you feel like the black sheep. You feel like the one who's caused shame on the family or some type of disdain on the family, right? And so you may have made big mistakes. You may have messed up. Don't let your past silence you or muzzle you or keep you from walking into and discovering that treasure that's on the inside of you. There's greatness in there. And I don't really care what you did and who you were. We all have a past. Some of us will tell you, and then some will act like, listen, they woke up saved, okay? So don't let that discourage you. And commercial break right here. One thing that aggravates me with some Christians is how soon we forget, right? How soon do we forget? We want to make people be brand new, walking exactly perfect when they just got saved yesterday. Somehow we get amnesia that we was out there acting a fool like they were. Yeah, sometimes we forget we had on the mini skirts like them. We had on the tight leather pants like them. We had everything out and showing, you know. But since God has brought us from a mighty long way and we begin to tap into who he called us to be, we get amnesia. And so when you do tap into that treasure that's on the inside, let's not forget. Let's help somebody else discover their purpose. Let's not act like we've been arrived or that we don't have a past or we don't know what it feels like. Come on, you know what it feels like to be shunned. You know what it feels like to be talked about, to be ridiculed. You know that all too well. So listen, let's not be that person, but let's be the one who encourage and say, listen, I know you're having a hard time right now, or I know you think that this defines you. Listen, Moana said, this does not define you. Okay. I love the movies, y'all. I'll preach a movie in a minute. Listen, the mistakes and the issues, those are seeds. My bishop has a quote that says, those are seeds to your success. Failure isn't failure. That doesn't negate the treasure that's on the inside of you. Now, it might take a little bit of digging to get to it. Now, I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy, but you have to know that you're worth it. You have to know that when God made you, he didn't make a mistake. Everything that he did was good and perfect. He's perfect in all of his ways. And so when he made you, he didn't say, oh Lord, let me throw that away. Let me give you an example. I was making some biscuits. Put myself on blast right now. Y'all don't talk about me and don't make no post about I can't cook. Okay. But I was trying to make biscuits from scratch. Y'all, them biscuits, Lord, they was like rocks. They was pitiful. And so my father-in-law had to tell me what to do to make it nice and soft and moist. But, you know, I didn't try to eat the biscuit. Well, I did try to eat a little piece of biscuit. But then what I did was threw it away. But aren't you glad that God didn't do that to us? He doesn't throw us away when it didn't come out quite right. But he already knew. That's what I love about him. He already knows the choices you're going to make. He already knows the mistakes that you're going to make. He already knows everything crazy and stupid that you're going to do. And he loves you anyway. He still says, what I put in you is good. It was very good. And it's up to you to come in agreement with him. Okay, you can choose to live a moderate life, beneath the surface life, or you can tap into the greatness that he's placed on the inside of you. But again, you have to discover that. You can't fight the process and then begin to listen to other people. Listen to those people that he put in your life to help you along the way. Listen to those people that he placed in your life to help mentor you and mold you and help to get the greatness out of you. I was a piece of work. That's why I'm so grateful for my leaders, because they had a lot of work to do. They are instruments that the Father has used to help to get me to where I am. And am I there yet? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Every day I'm growing. Every day I'm maturing. Every day I'm finding out what's on the inside of me. We can't be intimidated. Listen, I was so intimidated and nervous, even about starting back my combos again. I'm like, man, everybody out here doing this and that and the other, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to compete with this person or that person. And listen, let me help you right here. There is no competition. Hear me when I say, did you hear me? Let me say that a little bit louder. There is no competition. Nobody can be me. Nobody can be you. It's only one Regina Lane. Well, it's other people that have Regina Lane name, but you get what I'm saying. I'm the only one with my setup like me. You're the only one like you. So I don't care how many people are doing something that you are desiring to do, or you have your eyes on something, and you believe this is your purpose that you're supposed to be walking in. Don't look at the next person. Don't say, you know, I'm scared to even try to tap into it because look at what they're doing. They're doing big things, man. They got this going on. That's not for you to worry about. What's for you to worry about is for you to walk into your obedience. And as you make those steps, as you begin to walk in it, then God will begin to do the rest. All he needs you to be willing and obedient and come in agreement with him. That's how you start digging. Face those things in the past, man. Again, shame can hold you in so much bondage. You'll be scared to step out because you'll rehearse in your mind the things you did over and over and over. As you get ready to climb up or as you begin to walk into purpose, listen, the enemy don't want that for you, okay? So you have to fight against those negative words and say, that's who I used to be. And he can't hold nothing on me because y'all know I'll tell it. I will tell it. So it's no secret I had babies when I was young. It's no secret about my life because I put it out there. And so when I put it out there, what you gonna say? That I had a baby? I was pregnant at 14. Okay. What else you got? You're not gonna hold that against me because yes, I did that. But you know, the wonderful thing about that is when I meet another 14-year-old, another 16-year-old, 17-year-old, I can tell her, baby, this is not the end. You still got a whole lot ahead of you. This is just a detour or something else to work into the plan. But the plan for your life has not changed. His mind concerning you, that hasn't changed. Regardless of the mistakes we make in the roads that we take, his mind towards us doesn't change. He's always looking for another way. He's always looking for an opportunity to get us to come back into agreement with him. But you got to dig for it. Your hand was lousy. I get that. Listen, that was one of my main complaints that I would tell God. I heard stories, you know, God, if you're sovereign, you could have put me with any family, anywhere, anytime. You know, but you allowed me to be in this family with this happening, you know, with me being in a single parent home, poverty. And I'm like, I could have had the life. My brothers would tell me stories about, you know, my dad had a good job. We had a nice brick home, you know, and no one else really had that going on. We got the finest of things. But I didn't get to remember all that because he acted a fool before I could enjoy it. My brothers got to enjoy it, but I didn't. And so I'm like, what's up? You could have did, man. You know how different my life could have been. But he knows what he's doing. It's for such a time as this. Because guess what? You're not the only one who had a broken home. Somebody else is experiencing a broken home, and they're going to need you to be able to say, you not having a father in your life doesn't define you. You're still great. You know, you may have more issues and wounds for not having a father there. You may have complexes. I had plenty. But still, even with that, that's when God begins to heal and takes care of all of those complexes that you have as you give it to him and surrender to him. Sometimes, you know, with not having a father, you miss that validation. Oh, okay. So you don't have nobody telling you you're the little princess, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you know, you don't have to take this from guys. Here's my life. Here we go. 14 and pregnant. Why? Because they told me I was pretty and I was beautiful and they loved me. Come on, y'all know how it go. And I'm like, had a father been there, you know, he would have gave me all that I needed, and that wouldn't have happened. But certain things that allowed to be, don't worry about it. I used to watch my brothers and his friends play spades. And you bid books and spades. And I remember seeing somebody's hand, and I said, man, they might as well throw their hand in. They ain't getting no books. They can't even go board. They can't get nothing. I hope y'all know spades, so y'all know what I'm talking about. If you not, go Google it, Urban Dictionary, and figure out what I'm talking about. But anyhow, hand was just bleeding. I said, there's no way they're going to make it. And I don't know how they took that hand they had and still got some books on the board. You know why? Because I was looking at it from, hey, you got a lousy hand, but somebody else looked at that same hand and say, let me be creative and let me use strategy and see how I can make this hand work for me. And so whatever hand you've been dealt, you may have some disadvantages. Other people may have a better start than you did. But you have to look at the hand that you've been dealt and ask God for strategy. How can this work for my good? That could even help you tap into purpose. That could help you tap into that treasure that's on the inside of you. We never know why God does what he does. We just have to trust, again, that he's sovereign and he does what he wants to do. And that he didn't make a mistake when it comes to us. He knows exactly what he's doing. And so again, we have to begin to see ourselves how he sees us. Don't look at your past. Don't look at your mistakes. I don't care if you fail, try again and keep trying. You will never, ever be defeated as long as you continue to try, because time and chance, it happens to all of us. But it's up to us not to give up before we tap into our purpose and tap into that treasure. We may not be for everybody. Your audience, the people that you're called to, the different things that you're supposed to do is not going to be the same. So we can't go by, oh man, they got all these people, they making bank, they doing this, man, people calling their name, they getting opportunities. Listen, don't focus on all that. If you make that difference in just that one, it could be one of the stories that Bishop likes to tell. And let me pop y'all comments on. I done got into what I was saying. But one of the stories that Bishop liked to tell, where he's talking about how Philip was preaching to the multitude and God took him to minister to that one. But that one changed the whole system. Man, you tripping because you ain't got the multitude, but all you need is one. Somebody ought to tweet that. All I need is one. Listen, all you need is one. You let other people have the stage. Kina, I made my cousin pull 16 cards in Uno and he still beat me. I think of that all the time from the analogy aspect. If I ever write a book, that's my inspiration about staying in the game. Listen, I'm telling you. And when you speaking of that, Kina, making them pull all them cards in your mind, you probably thought, sure win. No way they're going to come back from that. But listen, it is nothing like tenacity. And people that have a mind to work and come back, it ain't no stopping them. But listen, all you need is one. Don't worry about the stage. Don't worry about, all you need is that one right connection. Keep on saying what you're saying. Even if you think people may not be listening, or you write poems and you hadn't got that breakthrough, or you have this idea to create something for this group of people, and it's not being as successful as you think it is, don't be discouraged, because I'm telling you, time and chance will happen. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on that thing that pushes you, that desire that pushes you. And watch what happens. The right opportunity is going to come along. It's going to come to the right person's ears. And listen, it's going to be a done deal. So again, we're foolish. I think Bishop just said that last week. And I talk about, let me give a disclaimer. I talk about my bishop a lot because of the impact that he and Pastor Elect had made in my life. So if you hear me keep talking about my bishop, listen. Oh, if you only knew, honey. If those who know me, y'all know me. But for those who don't know me, y'all don't know the transformation. But when I tell you my God can do anything, you ought to look at your neighbor and say anything, anything. And that's why I'm so excited, because and I have a passion to talk to other people. I have a passion to do these combos because listen, if I can get to that one person who felt like I did, if I can just get to that one person who felt like what I'm gonna do with 2 kids, y'all, my girls are on here now. And they will tell you, we moved to Charlotte. I always just try to make something happen. I'm from Marion, a small town, but I always try to make something happen. So I've been at Atlanta, I've been to Athens, I've been to Charlotte. I've been everywhere just trying to make a better life. But I didn't change. Hear what I'm saying? I moved to different places, trying to discover the greatness and the treasure, trying to make a better life. But my mindset didn't change. The way I felt about me, it didn't change. So I didn't care where I went. Atlanta, Athens, Charlotte, I got the same results. The same results. I remember my babies. We were just on hard times, again, making stupid decisions. And we needed some things from the store. And I had my babies. They was little. They weren't little, but you know, they was too little to be doing all that. They was walking with the groceries. And I remember the girls on here, y'all remember the milk? It was getting too heavy for them to carry. And I say, just drink it. I done spent my money. And they were walking, trying to drink the milk, y'all. I was horrible. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, babies. I hope y'all forgive me, Name and Kiki. My Lord, I put them through a time. But anyhow, trying to discover greatness. So your location, listen, that's not going to matter. You can hop from here to there and everywhere. But until you see yourself how you're supposed to see yourself, you're going to keep getting the same results. You'll keep taking stuff that you don't supposed to take because you don't feel you're worthy. You'll keep settling when you shouldn't be doing that. You'll keep letting people treat you any kind of way because you don't know. You hate me. I'm sorry. She says she hates milk to this day. I'm so sorry. But you'll keep getting the same results regardless of your location because your mindset hadn't changed. So just move into a different place. I appreciate that. Thank you. So move into a different place, that won't change it. But at the moment you come into agreement with who you're supposed to be, you can make it work anywhere. I don't care where you at. It'll work for you because your mind has changed, your way of thinking has changed, and you begin to see what's on the inside of you. So your location won't even matter. You'll begin to work what's on the inside of you. I want to show y'all this is my niece. Y'all have to check her blog out. Talk about it, Tay. Purpose. Discovering the treasure that's on the inside. Go for it. Y'all know how many bloggers is out here? You know how many people it is doing videos, how many people it is doing event decor and writing books and making music, but I don't care. Again, don't let that stop you. Don't say, man, they got 20,000 people already doing it right now. What's for you, it is for you. There's treasure hidden all inside of you. But you won't see it until you see yourself how he sees you. Who is he? It's God. My life was never complete until I began to see things like I'm the apple of his eye. What? I'm the apple of somebody's eye. Listen, I ain't never been to nothing to nobody's eye. And then here it is. He loving me like that? Like, Do you know what I did? And once you see that, you'll want to do better. No one will have to tell you you need to cut this out. Because why? You're not going to want to hurt him. You're not going to want to hurt the people who've invested and gave you that love. So different things about you will change. So again, like I said, don't be held in bondage by mistakes or problems or things that you've done in your past. Seek a solution and figure out how to make it better. Will you always get it right? Mm-mm. After you start doing right, will you mess up again? Probably so. I mean, he's able to keep you from falling. But just in case, the good thing about it is we have an advocate. You have an accuser and you have an advocate. We all know who the accuser is, and we know who our advocate is. Don't let them be pleading your case for nothing. I'm saying, let's just get it right. Discover what's in you and work it. It's so much we all can be. I just want everybody to be great. I tell you, Nay's on here. She's my oldest daughter, and she's so hyped about everybody walking in her great. This is why I'm on here right now. The reason why you see me started back these combos with Gigi is because she's so hyped. And that, man, that's greatness. Let's do us. Come on. Walk into what God has you. Come on, you got to do what God called you to do. And when you have somebody believe in you like that, man, give it a shot. What's the worst can happen? All that's required of you. My bishop says this too. All God requires of you is your best. I love you too, sweetie. That's all that's required of you. He's not required of you to do the same thing as somebody else. Your best. Once you did your best, that's all you're required. Your job assignment complete. However, if he's invested so much in you and you were too scared to tap into it, that's a horrible thing. How many people did he have for you to meet? How many people's path were you supposed to cross and give an inspirational word to, or give them some sense of hope, but because you felt like your words were insignificant, you didn't share them? Listen, there's greatness in you. There's treasure in you. Share it. And I promise you, who is for is who is going to be for. But don't say, nah, God, I can't, I'm not going to do this because they have, more experience. And that's one thing, would always get me. Now, I've been raised in church all my life, but actually preaching or ministering, that made me a little hesitant. I used to be real hesitant about doing that because I said, man, these preachers, they've been preaching forever. I'm just new in this. But listen, the word God gives you to speak, you have to trust that. That's when you don't trust in your own self. And whether it's preaching or designing or fashion or this recipe he gave you or this idea, whatever it is, if it's inspired by him, you have to believe that it's going to work. And you can't depend on your own abilities. But that's when you have to really surrender and know, if this is what you assigned me to do, if this is what you've given me to do, then you're going to bless it. You're going to cause it to work. Or why would he give it to you? Why would he put that inside of you if he didn't expect you to work it? But you have to start from somewhere and you have to grow it. It's not going to be overnight. And like I said, you may have some challenges along the way, but those are learning opportunities. And then you take those and you continue to build and build and build. And then next thing you know, bam, you won't even know, like, I didn't even know that was in me. I get so excited about different things that I didn't even know that I could do. And I would have never known that I could do it if I didn't tap into it. But sometimes things can be so, again, intimidating. That's right. Everything that we do it unto the Lord. Some things can seem so intimidating that we won't even give it a try. We already defeat ourselves or throw our hands up before we even step into it. I had a situation like that with this program, and it had a lot of coding, and I was like, I can't do coding. That scares me. I'm intimidated. I'm scared I'm going to make something up, mess something up. And then when I got into it, it was easier than I thought. Our mind can be a good thing, but then it can be a bad thing. Sometimes we can create crazy circumstances that, man, that's not even anything to worry about. When we can go down a rabbit hole with the what if, the what ifs, instead of just using your mind for creativity and let it flow. So again, there is treasure in you. Remember these quotes. Purpose is not something you desire. Purpose is something that you discover. There is so much buried treasure inside of you, but you have to start digging. Don't let your past be used as a muzzle. Use it as motivation. And before you can become it, you must first believe it. So again, that's all according to your beliefs. You have to believe it. Other people can believe it for you. Other people can see it in you. But until you are ready to come into agreement that you have something to offer, that there is greatness, there's greatness in you, you have so many treasures in you, until you come into agreement, you'll never tap into it. You'll never reach your fullest potential. So my challenge for you tonight is, after you get off here, after you watch these videos, I really want you to think about what you think it is that you were placed here to do. We all have a purpose. We're not just here taking up space and time. It's something that we're supposed to do. One, do you know what it is? And if you know what it is, are you preparing to walk in it? If not, then why? What excuses do you have? And start looking at all those things and begin to combat the negative and work it. Play your hand. Whatever excuse. I'm a single parent. I don't have enough funds. I don't have the resources. Find a way to answer or to solve the problem that you're having and walk into your greatness. Shakina says, seeing you and your girls bloom these past 10 years have been one of the best things. I'm happy to have witnessed up close, and I'm happy for you all. Thank you, Kina. And it has been a journey. It has been a journey. My grandson is 10. He's getting ready to be 11 in December. And she said 10 because that's when we became friends, when my Toot was getting ready to be born. Well, she was pregnant with him. And I'm telling you stuff that I know. It is a process. And you're always going to have to fight that doubt. It's always something to remind you, you're a teenage mama for Marion. You know, it's always something saying you have this over your shoulder. But you have to make a conscious effort when you hear the negative voices and them trying to remind you, your own self, trying to remind you of why you don't deserve it. Then remind yourself of why you do. And why you do is because you are the apple of God's eye. He wishes that you be in health, good health, and that you prosper, and that your soul prosper. He wants you to prosper. He wants you to live your best life. And if you're not living that, if you're living a defeated life, you hadn't tapped into the treasure. He's given us everything that we needed pertaining to life and godliness. Anything that we need, he's given it. But he's not going to just give it. He's giving you the seed. You have to work it. Just with anything else. Planting seeds, exercising, it all starts with the seed. But you have to water it. You have to nurture it. You have to tell yourself, I am great. You have to tell yourself, I am walking in this. You have to speak it over yourself. You have to take down negative words. I'm not a product of my past. My past is what I did, but it's not going to be held against me. From today going forward, I'm leaving that behind me. I think that's what Paul said. The stuff that's behind me, listen, I got to keep that behind me, because if I keep worrying about what's behind me, I can't move forward. And so tune out the chatter that's behind you. Continue to move forward and continue to press for the mark. I'm not going to hold you long on tonight, but I hope that you enjoyed this first episode of Convos with Gigi. Very first one, still working some stuff out, trying to figure out my flow. But I'm doing what I told y'all to do. Step out there, quit making excuses of the why you can't do it, and do it. And as you step out there, watch God blow on it. Watch God give the increase. I love y'all. I hope that you tune in next week. Next week, I will have guests. I'm so excited. The episode for next week is called Dear Mama. You've heard me tell my testimonies before about relationships, issues, and problems that I had with my mom. My daughters, we were talking about the relationship that we had, the issues that they had with me, and how we can move past that, how we continue to go forward. I'll be asking them some things about what they needed, even as teenagers, as being in high school, that they may have needed from a parent that they didn't get. And that's really important for those of you who have high school kids or college kids, or even have some strife between your mother and daughter relationships, or the relationship isn't that great. I believe God is using these times and these type of situations to help heal those things. So I'm really looking forward to talking to the girls. So y'all don't want to miss that next Friday, 8:00, if nothing changes. I love y'all. Thank you again for spending your portion of your Friday night with me and hanging in with me with Convos with Gigi. Love y'all. Take it easy.